Ladies and gentlemen, 1 part riding crop, 1 part whip, all parts weapon. The Sjambok. Zombie Go Boom starts now. Using real-life settings, we put the weapons, everyday objects, and theories to the test. Learn the best ways to bash undead skulls and to stay alive in any situation. Forget everything you thought you knew about fighting zombies. Zombie Go Boom, kick undead ass. That's right, boys and girls, the Sjambok. This South African-born whip is primarily used for snake killing, cattle wrangling, and it is such a potent weapon that even a rhinoceros can feel it through its thick hide. So let's take a look at the tail of the tape. This 42-inch black Sjambok, and it features a Creighton handle with extruded black plastic lash for grip. The entire piece is injection molded from polypropylene, which is nearly unbreakable. The Sjambok is considered a non-lethal weapon, but that doesn't mean it can't do some serious damage. First up, the pineapple. Let's take a look at exactly what happened in the high-speed footage replay. All right, let's check it out. So the Sjambok definitely broke the pineapple's skin. Look at that, it's juicing all over the place. Next up, the bleeding zombie targets from our friends at Zombie Industries. So, as this whip came and slashed and folded around the top of the head, it just ripped the top down. Check that out. All right, so I took off the top of its head. Now, this is not the best test to see if that would actually happen to something with a skull, as this thing does not have the hard polymer that we use for our skulls, but you can tell that it definitely did some serious lacerations to the skin and wounded it pretty seriously. This would no doubt stagger your opponent if you placed a really well-made blow. All right, now it's time for the next test with this massive thing. It's the hanging meat suspension whacking test. But we need help naming this thing because the best thing we could come up with was, air pain hanger, which is horrible. So in the comments below or on our Facebook, why don't you guys tell us what we could call this thing? And if you're lucky enough and you have a good enough name, we'll not only use it in subsequent episodes, but we will also use your name in the credits. All right, here we go. Let's beat some meat. So check it out. We made, on our first hit, or our second, I don't know which, we made this pretty sufficient tear into the side of the grossness. And then if we flip it over on this side, you can see, well, this is where, of course, the chain ripped out, but there's also a pretty severe tearing right along the fat line, the gristle. Bam! All right, next up, let's see what it can do against some ballistics gel. All right, now we're using our ballistics gel skull analog mold, and I'm gonna do my best to get the strike zone right here. I'm gonna bring it at the diagonal right across to see if we can create any lacerations across the skin. Here we go. Well, as you can see, it created a severe laceration right across the top of the what would be the head. Now, this is, as stated before, a non-lethal weapon, but it is very effective in staggering an enemy, like a zombie, if you made the right hit on it. Also, something important to think about during the zombie apocalypse, you're not always going to have a food supply. So this thing would be excellent for stunning small animals like a cat or a dog or a squirrel to maybe roast over an open fire. It's also good to keep your party members in line. If you have somebody that you really like, but they just start going nutso on you, just whack them a couple of times with this, maybe across the face, and that'll get them right back in line, and it won't do much damage to them. Of course, then they may come at you with a knife or something. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Zombie Go Boom. I'm Jim Goza. Happy hunting.